Hello, I'm Colin Hanratty from Hostelworld.com, and if you want to know what museums in the Scottish capital are free, when the biggest festivals take place, and where's a good place to try traditional haggis, go nowhere, because here are 10 things you need to know about Edinburgh. Thanks to its compact size, enchanting old town and endless bars and restaurants, Edinburgh is a city that you will warm to straight away. Over the space of a few days you can climb one of Europe's most famous peaks, visit the yacht that was once home to the British royal family, and check out Scotland's #1 tourist attraction. Now, here is the first of those 10 things. Edinburgh is divided into the old and new towns. In the new town you'll discover charming Georgian crescents and the city's best shopping, while in the old town you'll find many cobbled streets and neighbourhoods such as Canongate and the Grassmarket. It's also where you'll find the Royal Mile, the most famous street in Scotland. The Royal Mile is divided into 4 different sections. At the very top is Castle Hill at Edinburgh Castle. Then you've got Lawn Market. After that is High Street, which is where I am now, and this is the heart and soul of the Royal Mile. Then at the very end of the Royal Mile is Canongate, before it ends with the Palace of Holyrood House, which today is the official residence of the Queen of England here in Scotland. Dating back to the 12th century BC, Edinburgh Castle isn't only Edinburgh's #1 attraction, but is also Scotland's #1 attraction. So make sure to put by a couple of hours to explore it when in the Scottish capital. Highlights in the castle include the Great Hall where kings, queens and nobles came to feast, St Margaret's Chapel, which is the castle's oldest surviving building, and the Scottish National War Memorial, which pays tribute to those who have died in battle. The Scottish capital is full of free museums and galleries, which is great news for those of you on a very tight budget. These include the Writers' Museum that showcases the city's famous writers, the Museum of Edinburgh, which tells the famous story of Greyfriars Bobby among other things, and the National Gallery, which is Scotland's most important art gallery. Another of these free museums is the National Museum of Scotland, which is located on Chamber Street and opened in 1998. Now, while the building itself is quite modern, some of the collections here focus on the first 3 billion years of Scotland's history. The museum has lots of interactive exhibits, while Dolly the sheep can also be found here. Part and parcel of a trip to Edinburgh is trying traditional Scottish haggis, which is a mix of oatmeal and different pieces of beef and lamb. Now, it might not sound too tempting, but when in Rome. And one of the better places to try it is the Tass here on the Royal Mile, which stocks the award-winning McSween's haggis. Overlooking Edinburgh is Arthur's Seat, a rocky peak that climbs 251 metres into the sky. While the climb to the top is a tough one, it is ultimately rewarding as the views are unforgettable. If you don't have a head for heights or you're not feeling particularly energetic but you'd still like a good view of the city, Calton Hill on the east side of Princes Street is where to go, because as you can see, the view is just as breathtaking. Located just 3 miles from Edinburgh city centre, Leith is an attractive waterfront suburb that is home to many bars and restaurants. If you've got the time, try to check it out. The main attraction in Leith is the Royal Yacht Britannia, which was the official yacht to the British royal family from 1953 until 1997. Today you can tour the yacht, and highlights include the Sun Lounge and the State Dining Room. Due to the number of hostels in Edinburgh, there are many bars and pubs that do backpacker specials, where budget travellers can get deals on food and drink.
A bar that does one of these specials is the last drop in the city's Grassmarket area, as once you prove to the staff that you're staying in the hostel, you get all food on the menu that's $7.25 or under for $3.95, and this includes everything from traditional Scottish haggis to fajitas to sausage and mash.
Other places that do good deals include Maggie Dixon's, which is also in the Grassmarket, and the Castle Arms on Johnston Terrace. Edinburgh is the world's #1 festival destination, and over the course of 12 months, no fewer than 12 major festivals take place here.
The first festival to take place is the Science Festival in April, and last is Hogmanay in December, but the best time to visit Edinburgh for its festivals is in August, when no fewer than 7 festivals take place, the best known being the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is the largest arts festival in the world.
Other festivals to take place in August include the world-famous Military Tattoo, the Edinburgh Book Festival, which includes book signings and readings, and the Edinburgh Art Festival. The Scottish capital is one of the most haunted cities in the world, and the Old Town in particular is full of narrow lanes and closes, each with a different story to tell.
There are different haunted tours operating in Edinburgh, many of which, like these two here, advertise themselves on the Royal Mile. But before you book yourself onto any of them, make sure to do a bit of homework, because some go to places that others don't, and they can vary in price too.
If you're wondering where it's good to go out in Edinburgh after dark, here are a few suggestions. Thanks to its many drinks promotions, Bar Salsa in the Grassmarket is always busy, while the Globe on Nidri Street, just off the Royal Mile, is Edinburgh's #1 backpacker bar.
And right beside the Globe is Whistle Binkies, which is a great place for live music in Edinburgh.
Here you'll find live music 7 nights a week. The Dome over on George's Street is one of the city's most imposing bars, while the Opal Lounge down the road from it is a great place to go dancing.
So that is our 10 things you need to know about Edinburgh. Hopefully this will help you plan your trip to the Scottish capital. For a fact sheet on everything that's in this video, log on to www.hostelworld.com/videos, and for the biggest and best selection of hostels in Edinburgh on the internet, as well as free pocket guides and podcasts, stay on the same site.